In a studio that's in a basement comes the epic story of how two friends changed the future of the movie podcast game forever. The reviews are in. Boys Life magazine gives the High Sci podcast 4.5 acorns. The Daily Bugle says, these guys are super legit. And Pope Francis declares the podcast as life-affirming. From the kid who tried to get smart with David Spade and got fucking old.
You're still out. You're still bad.
And the guy who can name all four Baldwin brothers.
Alec, William, Daniel, and the baby boy, Stephen.
Live from the studio of his parents' basement. The Have You Seen It podcast.
Welcome back to the Have You Seen It podcast. My name is Mason Knight. Sitting across from me is the one and only Cash Kraus. Cash, how you doing?
Doing pretty good. How about yourself?
Not too bad. Namaste.
Namaste. Wednesday?
Hey, don't mind if I do.
And it is Wednesday.
It is Wednesday.
That's
yeah,
fun.
It is.
That
it
is
is fun.
fun.
It's a lot of fun.
That's a lot of fun. We're having fun here.
We are.
That's always something we like to do on the High Side podcast is have fun.
It's one of our 4 pillars for our podcast.
Yeah, what are
It's
the other
fun.
3? Because you're always talking about them. You're
Right.
always talking about how important the 4 pillars are. And right now, I think it's a good time to tell everyone.
Movies,
Okay.
television,
Okay.
sound check, fun.
Okay, those are all kind of different things.
They are. But
Pillars
those are the pillars that hold this
Pillars
podcast
are usually
together.
like respect, hard work,
Hard work, dedication,
quality,
quality assurance.
and fun. I didn't think you were just going to name, which just seemed like you were just naming random objects
Things
in the room.
Yeah, it was, I haven't really thought through the other 3 pillars, but
Yeah.
I know the first one is fun.
The first one, and that's the strongest pillar.
And maybe at this point, it is the only pillar of our podcast.
Yeah, you said 4,
I
but
did.
But
maybe I got a little
we'll
ahead
add
of
a few.
myself.
We'll
Right,
add a
we
few.
will.
We're one pillar kind of podcast right now. But as we grow,
It's holding up by a thread, and
as
that
we
thread
grow,
is fun.
yeah, not a lot of things are held up by one pillar.
No, not.
It's, you
can't think of
rarely
too many.
see-
No.
Maybe a crow's nest.
Maybe more like a flagpole or
Yeah.
something is just, you
It's just
hold
one
up the
pillar.
flag with
Yeah.
one. Yeah.
But as we'll grow, we will add in more
Continue
pillars.
to
We will erect more pillars.
We will. We will.
Of course. But enough pillar talk, because
Yeah.
this isn't the pillar podcast.
It's not the
That's a
pillar
separate
podcast.
podcast that we do on
We
Tuesdays.
do that on Tuesdays.
This is our Namaste Wednesday, so that means we are reviewing a film from India.
We are.
And a film this week, we are doing a dark comedy anthology film titled Ludo.
Ludo just dropped on Netflix not too long ago. And typically when we review films in India, we are 10 to 15 years behind.
Yeah.
Or 5 years, not on top of it. But this one has just recently released on Netflix November 12th. So
Yeah, I didn't even know
right
that.
on the cusp of this
I had
film.
no idea it was such a new film. But an ensemble cast,
A great
to say the
cast,
least.
yes.
Lot of famous people, a lot of
And some that we
well-known-
may butcher their names. But Abhishek Bachchan, which is Little B.
Yes,
We got Big B.
of the glamorous Bachchan family.
Absolutely.
That we all know.
We
of.
hold them in high regard.
Yeah,
Praise
well-
be to the Bachchans.
Absolutely. And we have Raj Kumar Rael, of course. And I don't want to get into it too early, but he carries the film in my mind.
Yes, he
Carries
does.
the film.
And that
He's very
story,
funny.
too, is very fun.
I liked it a lot.
Yes. Aditya Roy Kapoor.
Yes, and I was surprised. I forgot completely that he was in it. But Tripathi.
Yes. Pankaj
And he's
Tripathi.
always great, too.
He's
Yeah.
incredible.
He's the first person you see, and I was like, oh, God.
And he does play
Great.
a lot of gangster roles.
He's
Give it to the
unfortunately
man.
getting typecast.
He's starting to get typecast
Yes.
in India. You've got your Gangs of Wasseypur, you got your Mirzapur, you've
Absolutely.
now got
It's-
Ludo, and more, actually.
He's great at
So
it, nonetheless.
He is great at
He
being
might
a
be the
badass.
Robert De Niro of,
Yeah.
but
of India.
talk
Absolutely.
to Robert now. He's kind of bitter about those things. He's
Yeah.
doing a lot of comedies. He's
He's
trying to
doing a lot
erase
of-
that past. Hopefully, Tripathi does not go down that route.
Let's hope not. But I've heard Stree is really good, and that's actually a comedy
Oh,
that he's in. And a lot of
yeah,
people
but
have
this
been
is a
telling us to throw that on
comedy
poll.
as well. So he might be playing a gangster in that.
That's a good point. Yeah, he probably is, honestly, in all seriousness. This film was the production companies involved with this were T-Series, and then Anurag Basu also directed.
Yeah, not Anurag Kashyap.
No, Anurag Basu.
Basu. I saw that name on. Although Anurag Basu, he's directed a lot of stuff, just
Yes, he
nothing
has.
that we have reviewed. Yeah. We reacted to Barfi,
We did
which I
react
think
to
is
Barfi.
his most commercial and successful film.
Yep.
But
Well, and everyone says Barfi's really good. He also he was also the director for Kites too, back in 2010. So
yeah. So, but that this is our first film, first Anurag Basu film that we have reviewed. Absolutely. Yeah, and produced by T-Series, so the production value is going to be very high.
Tip top. Still the #1 subscribed channel
I
on
think
YouTube.
forever will be.
It will, yeah.
I mean, can someone? What do they have? 2 billion or something?
They have it's insane. Well over 100 million. It's like 156, and then the
insane.
second place is PewDiePie at like 130 something.
Yeah, which is wild too.
Yeah.
I mean, but yeah, very high. That's one thing you can say about this film. It's very high production value. They put
They do.
a lot of money into anything because they're T-Series.
Let's do this. Are you okay with talking about the poll? I know we were going to just post about it later, but
No, we can talk about it.
a lot of people have been requesting us to throw in that film.
Barfi?
No, Stree.
Oh, Stree.
And it is a comedy. It's something that we haven't done in a while.
Yeah.
I guess it holds up with
Well, this is a comedy.
It is. I guess this is a comedy. Yeah, you're right. But
it definitely is. I thought this film was pretty funny.
we could either add Stree or Barfi.
Let's look up. I'm going to look up right now what else we have on there.
So we have Ghoul.
Yeah,
Which is
we might have to just
Radhika
redo
Apte.
the poll
You think
and
so?
put more relevant films, I guess, because Goal's not going to win.
No, and
ever.
Ghoul has not been voted on at all, really.
Yeah,
Not too many people want us to see that, apparently.
So I think we might just have to but we will either add in Stree or Barfi.
Yeah.
But we might just have to redo kind of a lot of it and add in a few other films too.
Right.
But yeah, Goal had 7%. Ludo fucking did
Ludo
great.
crushed. Yeah, it did.
People definitely wanted to see Ludo. Won 70%. Aligar 18%. Yeah, people are telling us to remove Cargo as well. I think we should remove Cargo. So we might have to add 3 films in there, ones
Okay.
that we really want to see.
So we'll do that just so everyone's aware watching. We will add new films except
Yes.
Aligar. We'll probably keep that one, right?
yeah.
Because that one, a lot of people said they wanted us to see that one. It's just Ludo just blew everything out of the water. So
Yeah.
we'll keep Aligar in there, but then we'll add three more.
Yeah, and one of them will either be Stree or Barfi or both if we think they're really that good.
Right.
But we have gotten a lot of recommendations, so we'll add it on there, and that will be added pretty soon, so you can go and vote for that,
Yep.
whenever. But yeah, let's get back to
Ludo.
Ludo, it's called that because there is a game called Ludo. I was
is?
unaware.
I actually had to Google it. I was like, is Ludo a real game? And it is.
I
It's a
kind
real
of
board
wish.
game.
Well, yeah, of course it is. I kind of wish I Googled it before I saw the movie because the game I found out is like a game of like you got to race your pieces to a certain point, which makes sense because the entire movie is kind of characters racing for something. But yeah, kind of would have helped the allegory a little bit if I
If you
knew
knew what the game was.
Maybe they're playing
beforehand.
checkers or something. I would have gone, but yeah, that kind of hurt me in a way because I didn't really know. But it makes a lot more sense. The game is racing your pieces, and everything in this was them racing to do something.
Right.
But yeah, it is an anthology.
It is.
It is, of course, my biggest complaint. It is too long.
It is too long. This film sits at 150 minutes, 2.5 hours.
Yes.
For me, I completely agree with you. I think you could have shortened this movie 45 minutes.
Yeah, I think
at
it
least.
starts out really strong.
It does.
And then it just, like the last 45 minutes just drag on. It keeps going where I thought, oh, it's over. Then I look at it, oh, there's another 20 minutes. I thought we kind of wrapped everything up. But there is like this overarching, I'm starting to see a trend of like this. There's this overarching story of like, it's like life and death, I guess, playing a game of Ludo.
That's kind of what I thought too. And the two people playing the board game kind of represented like
Of
life
course.
and
One
death.
guy's wearing black, one guy's wearing white. It's,
And we've seen that too in like LJP films.
yeah, I think it's a
And
common
it is a
theme
common thing.
in India for sure. But well, life and death especially is a big thing in India.
Right.
I mean, we see the funerals. It's an event. You bring in
is.
the whole city. You get involved. People have to weep for days,
They do.
and if you don't, you didn't love that guy enough. He did it, so you really got to put on a show. We've seen it.
Yeah, we have.
Yeah.
Firsthand. In quite a films out.
But so
Ima Yu is the one that comes to my mind.
Of course, that's the one. But
yeah.
almost every film that someone dies, they are wailing, screaming, but for days on end. But yeah, so it's a game, and I kind of feel like they kind of throw that whole overarching life and death kind of thing out the window, because you don't see those guys again until the last 15 minutes.
Yeah,
and you kind of forget that whole thing was even because
there.
You get the reference at first, and then it's like normally you keep going back and forth, and they kind of give up on that idea, and then at the very end they're like, oh, we forgot we got to put these guys back in there and kind of wrap it all up.
And I think they were thrown in one other time real quick. They're like, oh, now they have to go here, and they're in the middle of the desert.
Well, that was like 20 minutes after you first saw them. So it really gave you a feeling like these guys are the narrators of the story.
Yes.
You're going to keep going. But no, I get, after that portion, do you see them again ever?
No, and I think I almost would have liked that better had those two narrated the whole story
I would have too,
consistently throughout the film.
Yeah.
So like, because obviously you have four separate stories that kind of intertwine,
It's
they run
pieces
into each
on
other.
the Ludo, because on a Ludo board, there's 4 distinct pieces. Again,
Yes.
I didn't read a lot into it.
Right.
Did not, but it is a very old game.
Yeah.
I guess. But 4 distinct pieces and a dice.
Yep. Dice.
And it's Tripathi who plays the dice. He's the randomness, I guess, of it. And I like that. I like that interconnection.
Yeah.
And I loved the fucking color palette of it, where it was like, so on Ludo board, it's like a blue square, yellow square, red square.
Green square.
Exactly. And then whatever portion that story encompasses, all the characters would be wearing like green
Yes.
and stuff. It's kind of nice, and it also served as like if you're kind of getting lost, you can always kind of remember back
Back to the colors.
So I kind of like that, even though I had no idea what Ludo was or had to represent. But and it looked nice a lot. I mean, it wasn't too in your face, but I liked like the yellow color palette and stuff like that. It was cool looking. Yeah. That's one thing about these films is they always look really good.
Yeah.
Because they're shot very high production. I mean, that's one thing. But yeah, I like that a lot. The red and all that. I thought it was cool. I thought it was pretty funny, too. Again, I thought it started out strong. I thought it was very funny. I don't even know if this was supposed to be funny, but Tripathi's character, he's like a gangster, of course.
Yeah.
But he keeps his gun like on a girdle, like very high up on his head.
I know.
I laughed every time. I thought it was funny.
Well, the opening scene, too, with the tub where he walks in and he puts his leg up on the tub and then pulls his leg back.
Yeah, I like
pulls
that
out
a lot.
the gun. Yeah, it was pretty funny.
I like the way that scene is shot, too, where it's like the bird's eye view of the tub and he walks in. He shoots. It's a pretty violent kind of graphic film.
Yeah,
I mean,
at times.
Kind of more than we've seen for Indian films, too. And kind of the comedy is kind of dark. I mean, it's a dark comedy.
It's definitely a dark
comedy. It's pretty
comedy.
fucking dark. I liked a lot. Another side story is this guy, he's like a ventriloquist in India. He's like the Jeff Dunham of India.
I guess so.
None of that comedy really, except he's a lot more political. He is.
His guy. He's like hitting on the girl, too, which is textbook. That's exactly what you. If you're a ventriloquist and you want to,
and you're not the
get with a girl,
creepiest guy in the room, you're not.
You're gonna land that.
Yeah, exactly.
Every time, because you can say what you want through your puppet,
which does not happen in India or in America.
In America,
you'll never see ventriloquists get a girl.
Never.
They are the loneliest of people. They have to make their dolls talk because they have no one else in their lives. So
and literally, they just talk to themselves the whole time.
Very creepy, very scary,
very sad.
Very sad.
It's a sad path.
Not for this guy. It's pulling all kinds of chicks.
It is.
But he's doing the fucking doll or whatever. But what happens to his story is like a sex tape gets out of his girl, and at first it's very odd because it shows, and he's making like horse noises.
Yeah.
And I thought it was a woman fucking a horse.
Oh no!
And I'm like, what is
going
this?
on?
And then it shows the uncle, remember?
Yep.
And the uncle is not shocked at all. He's like, it's not that bad. So I'm like, what is happening right now? Turns out he's
like a voice artist, and that's what he does.
Well, yeah, but he was fucking a woman that was engaged.
Right.
That was the big
to be married
taboo. Yeah. But I thought it was funny when he showed the uncle. He's like, man, we always thought you were gay.
He like gave him a hug. He's like, we always thought you were gay.
So happy. It's like, good for you. He was like really pumped up about it. Which is that's an uncle reaction.
It's an uncle reaction.
If your uncle
we
isn't
all
giving you
have
high
that
five.
uncle. Yep.
He's giving you high fives. But yeah, I thought that was pretty funny. And that was all in like the first half hour, you know. It starts off very, very strong and funny too.
And funny too, and I like how the stories intertwine. You know, like for one instance, how Pankaj Tripathi's character was killing that guy, and then he falls out of the window, falls through the thing.
Naked guy.
Right, naked. And then he shoots him twice. And then we find out later on that the other guy, was underneath.
Yeah.
Looking up, watching that happen.
Yeah, with his junk right in his face. Which
Very
I can only
unpleasant.
imagine it probably got torn up going through that tin roof. That thing was probably mangled.
It was mangled. It probably didn't look
Scarred
anything
that
like it
kid
should.
for life.
It did.
But
That's a free circumcision.
with well, that's an old school circumcision.
It
That's
is.
usually what they only do. Yeah,
Probably might get some tetanus falling through that.
oh,
roof.
you're gonna need a few shots
You
for
are.
sure.
You are. If you survive it.
If you survive, but you'll be a better man for it.
You will be. What doesn't kill you makes you stronger.
I guess. But yes, I liked with anthologies, you know, it's a very, you got to kind of walk a tightrope. You know, you want these stories to feel distinct, but you also want them to intertwine in a way where it doesn't feel like at the very end you're like, oh fuck, these stories have to mesh at some point. So you're just throwing these characters in. This one did it, and it was kind of different where it wasn't until like the very end where it showed them all come together. It kind of sprinkled it out throughout the entire thing.
It did.
And the one kind of character that's in all of them is Tripathi, which he's got a crazy story. I mean, he goes through a lot.
He goes through quite a bit.
Tough bastard, gets
real
thrown
tough
into a river.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know how he didn't drown.
I don't know either. And then he gets this relationship with this nurse.
Yeah, which is
You think they're falling in love?
did that
you know, and then he just bails on her.
did that need to be a relationship in the movie? That's one thing you could have cut out.
Yeah, it's
That's
definitely something you
too
coulda cut
much.
out.
Everyone's got a relationship going
Everyone.
on. Now Tripathi's got to be hitting on the fucking nurse.
And that's the thing too. If he is playing the dice and he's playing, you know, the randomness of the game, we did not need a love interest for that character. He could have just been the randomness of the game.
No,
you
absolutely
know?
not.
And you could have shaved off 20 minutes just there.
It was she never came in again throughout the story. Like you saw her one time.
Not significantly.
They
no.
they lit a cigarette or whatever, but like she never had a huge part in the story at all. The only time you ever get any reference to that character is she's nice to the nurse that doesn't speak any English. You know, that's the only time. And now she's got like a full fucking side story of her dating Tripathi. Yeah, I don't think you needed it, but yeah, I like that he was kind of the randomness in all of it because his character is like, I don't know, he's a crazy guy. He's like a Joker character. He's a gangster in India, so cops can't touch him.
No. They don't even try.
They're good friends with him, actually.
They are
The
friends
chief
with
seemed to be real tight with him, the little tiny cop who had to like get on his tiptoes to see people. But yeah, that's the one thing that's in all of them, I guess, is Tripathi. But he did not need the love story.
No.
Definitely not. But
Did you catch Big B's voice in this?
when was that?
It was a voiceover. After they had brought up, because they bring up his name in the film.
Yes.
Yeah. So I guess his voice was being played.
Oh, yeah, I don't know. Is he accredited at all?
Yeah, he is credited. Yeah, he actually is. Dude, I don't care if the man you see a splice of his face, you must credit Big B.
Well, yeah,
if he's
I
in
was
your
thinking
film.
maybe there was like a TV on and one of his movies was playing in the background. I don't think you need to credit him for that.
No, probably not. But hey, if the man
man loves
it,
credit.
then
Absolutely.
he deserves it.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Yeah. You're not going to credit Big B.
No
And
one speaks bad of
If
him.
anything, yeah, who would be against it? It's going to draw more people.
Exactly.
Now you could put Big B on the top of your poster.
And Little B, because obviously his son is in this.
He is.
Wonderful.
It's very good. Let's talk about Raj Kumar Rao. I
Yes.
thought he was fucking fantastic. He was very funny. Had a great haircut.
He did. That mullet was sexy.
I love the scene when he's like showing he's like a waiter or something, and he always has like this bit where he rambles off all the menu items. I watched the scene twice, so that was very well done.
Yeah.
But yeah, a lot to remember. You know,
A lot to remember.
but I like when he was doing it and he was like thrusting his hips and people behind him they were all into it, man. They fucking loved it. And then at the end, it shows him he's got stacks of cash from this. He's the greatest waiter in fucking
He
India.
is. Hey, look, you tip good service.
Paying big bucks for this guy.
Look, you keep my water full.
And
I'm tipping
thrust
you
your
50%.
hips towards my wife every once in a while.
Oh, then I'm tipping you 75%.
I don't know, man. I don't want this guy all up in my fucking.
Really? Hey, I'm all for a good night of entertainment.
Well, just
this
think,
guy
you're
is
taking it's a first date. You know, you're trying to impress this girl.
she's
Fucking Raj
thrust-
Kumar.
yeah.
This guy's got beautiful locks of hair.
He does.
He's rambling off
Charismatic.
800 different items. Chinese food, Italian, Spanish. He said the Mexican. They had it all. He's thrusting his groin right in my. It's tough.
That's true. It might get me sweating a little bit.
It's gonna make me nervous because this guy's gonna end up taking my date.
He is.
For sure. And you're not
Mr.
gonna.
Steal Your Girl. I can't handle
I'm
that.
avoiding the restaurant at this point.
Yeah.
Because I know what's gonna
I
happen.
think after that, you have to.
You really do. But
At least when you're taking dates. I mean,
yeah. But man, he could get anyone. I feel like in this, even though he was a waiter, he's very correct.
oh my God, but this character was obsessed with Pinky.
Yeah, kind of too much to where he
Too
was
much.
looking in her window from afar.
Yeah, it's borderline. Like, bro, I know you grew up with her since you were like 14 or whatever, but come on, man.
It borders line Back to the Future. You know,
Yes, it does.
him creeping on his
absolutely.
mom.
Yeah.
It's
McFly.
just- yeah.
George McFly.
George
creeping
McFly
on.
was a straight up sexual offender.
Oh, he was a peep and talk. Absolutely.
He should have been
Arrested.
Oh, immediately.
charged.
Yeah, he should. Every new neighborhood he moves into, he should have to go door to door and tell everyone
Let 'em know.
that
Hey,
that
look.
guy's a pervert.
I got caught with some binoculars. I was in
up
a tree.
The dad got me.
Yeah. I don't know how he didn't kill me.
Well, he invites him to dinner.
Does 50s, different
50s
times.
were different time.
Different times.
Different time.
I think the father almost respected the effort that this man or boy, whatever,
Yeah.
put forth.
Well, he pulled up his bootstraps, and they loved that in the 50s.
absolutely
Hard
did.
work meant it all. It didn't matter if you were fucking whacking
matter.
off in a tree to your 15-year-old daughter. This guy respected it.
Well, yep. Hard work over the end result of whatever that hard work was. As long as you showed hard work, that was
Absolutely.
the most important thing.
But Raj Kumar, he borderline pervert.
Yeah, definitely.
But she wasn't dressing or anything. At least
But there were so
that we
many
know of.
times. There were so many times, like, I should bring this up. But I watched this 90 Day Fiance show, and there's this girl
Yeah.
that like blatantly looks at this guy and goes, "No, I'm with you for the money," right?
Yeah, I think
I
I've
feel
seen
like-
a GIF
Yeah.
or something of TikTok of that guy.
But it's like that's what I felt with Ryo's character here, where it was like she was literally like, he was like, "I'll give you everything, whatever you
Yeah.
want, and you'll just turn me away." And she goes, "Okay,
Yeah,
give me whatever I want." And I'm like, "Why are you still with this broad?"
I know that's the shitty thing is she was like just, and then he's got to prove that her fucking husband is innocent.
Innocent on top of that, yeah, and he's going
It's
to
a
do
real
that.
friend zone kind of thing to
Oh
do.
my God, level 1000.
Yeah.
I mean, like, and then he's literally breaking that man out of prison.
Just so they can be together. It's friend zone for sure.
I did love the character, and I
Oh,
thought
I loved
Raj
him.
Kumar, Ryo did a great job.
And that
but
added
the
to his character.
characters-
That added to
yeah,
his
it
character.
did.
That is so funny. But in that he was so smooth, it felt like he could get anyone. But he had to. This
had
one
to
woman
have
he
this
couldn't
girl.
get. Now he's strung along. He's paying this guy's. It's wild. Let
And
me
the
try to
guy's calling
explain
him
it.
an asshole on top of it.
Yeah, so he's going after a woman who is married, and the woman or the man that she's married to is cheating on her with another woman, and now Raja, he has to go and pay that woman that the husband was cheating on money to prove that he did not double homicide.
And then she
It's
runs
so
off with the
convoluted.
money.
Yes,
So it's like,
obviously,
oh my,
she was
I
gonna
know.
run off with the
Of
money.
course. You don't want to testify that you were cheating on.
Well, remember her husband was like milking her, telling her to get more. What he's like 40 locks,
Yeah.
and she's like, "Oh no, 60." It's like this is
Like,
wild.
what? Yeah.
So he was then you end up feeling bad for the guy.
Which one?
For
Oh, Raj Kumar
Yeah,
Rao.
Raj
Yeah,
Kumar
yeah.
Rao. He's
Definitely. I thought you meant her husband. I was like, oh, fuck
no,
that
they
guy.
were all
Yeah, they were all
they
terrible.
made out with
people.
great. They made out great.
Well, he didn't. Remember, she left him too.
Yeah,
With some other guy.
he's running after her.
She's two-timing everyone.
Yeah,
that's a problem.
She was like, I want to see a movie of her.
I want to see what happened to her afterwards.
She was very quick.
Very quick.
But yeah. that was definitely, I think, one of the better storylines of the entire anthology was his. You know, the other one was like the other gangster and the girl, the little girl.
Yep.
Which was good, but it wasn't very funny.
What? I thought that was funny when like the little girl was like, tear her eyes out. He's like because he's doing like the ransom call. I thought it was funny.
When she's like 30 locks. Yeah, I just thought
she's
it was
like,
all right.
cut her hands off. And he's like, cut her hands off.
Yeah.
You know, I thought that
she's
was
real
funny.
violent for sure.
Well, yeah. She goes, what, have you never done a kidnapping before? And he's like,
yeah.
Have you been
But of course he
before?
has. He's a badass gangster.
He was.
Yeah, he should have been known. But yeah, I guess that was the only funny part though. Most of it was dramatic.
It was dramatic. Yeah.
Right. That was like a
But
a breather between the comedy bits was like that.
I did like the character development though of that guy because like he had problems with his daughter and getting custody of her, and it was a self-realization. I think in this scenario it was good because when he sees his daughter at the end, like he realizes based on what the little girl said, like you'd rather see someone be happy than pay for it.
Again, I just think his story went on too long. It should have ended when they shot. They shot him. When they were running away from the police. Yep. I thought it should have ended right there. He could have died right there. Would have been a great scene. But no, he goes on for like another 20 minutes run. He steals a cop car somehow.
He does,
out of that scenario, surrounded by police, he gets shot.
Yeah.
He somehow ends up
surviving
and stealing a cop car.
Yeah.
So like all of these stories were good, but they all should have been cut like 10 minutes short. They just keep on going.
And that's, again, we talk about this all the time, but for whatever reason, that is a common theme in India where they feel like their films have to go 2.5 hours. And it's like the story doesn't have to go that long. Like you could turn a movie that might get a C grade into an A grade if you would just cut out that 30 minutes and make the film more clear cut and concise in that 2 hour period.
Exactly.
Within that 2 hour period.
Just tighten it up. We talk about it all the time, but that is all these stories could have ended 10 minutes before they did.
Yes.
Even the one with the ventriloquist and the guy that had the sex tape or whatever, that one should have ended right when she made contact with the husband. He's like, oh, you shouldn't have lied to me and what. It could have ended right there. It goes on for another fucking 15 minutes.
Yeah.
It's so like we always say, that's my biggest complaint is the fucking the length, which is if it was 2 hours and 15 minutes even, I would be complaining less, but it's 2 hours and 30 minutes. We talk about all this, but there's very few films that should go past that 2 hour mark. 2 hours is pretty long for a film.
2 hours is 9 times out of 10 long enough.
Yes, hour 45 is that sweet spot. But besides that, it was shot very well. The cinematography was great. One thing I enjoyed, even though they still kind of worked it in there, was no one broke out in the song and dance. But there was those sections when you could tell, okay, they gotta sell the album.
They gotta sell that music, baby. And they had 7 songs for this too.
Yeah, but it never turned into a full choreography of like, the fucking fruit vendor. Now he's fucking in on it.
Juggling fruit and shit. You got a tightrope specialist.
Yeah, exactly. And now there's like a spotlight on him. It never turned into that. It was always just kind of like a way too long kind of romantic scene that's like, all right, this should have ended 30 seconds ago. But yeah, it was so I appreciate that. But I'm glad they did at least break in the dance. But even cutting those scenes out, you would have saved fucking 10 minutes.
You would have.
I get it. You got to write. I mean, when you're writing songs specifically for the fucking movie, and I mean that the songs are written specifically for the scene.
They are.
They always are like songs that kind of describe what's going on in case I guess you missed the last half hour. You got to sell albums though. It's T-Series.
You do.
You got to sell those albums.
Sell that album.
All right. Anything else?
No, I guess my last thoughts on this film was overall I did enjoy it. Again, we talked about it being a little too long. I would have liked to see this under 2 hours. But the acting was fun. I thought Raj Kumar Rao stole the show. I really love Pankaj Tripathi and everything that he does. Thought he did great. Just basically the whole cast did really good. And would I recommend this film? I would overall recommend this film. I do not obviously think it's the best Indian film I've ever seen, but it wasn't a bad film either.
I definitely think it's one of the better comedies we've watched.
Yes, absolutely.
It's not that weird slapstick slide
whistle.
whistle. Yeah. It's not that. It wasn't
It's not like Three Idiots
exactly.
where it's so.
I didn't want to say it. Glad you brought it up.
I'll bring it up. I don't care. Because it is true. Like Three Idiots wasn't bad. It was just the sound effects were just atrocious.
I didn't laugh that. I laughed a lot more during during Ludo. I liked the comedy a lot because maybe it was because it was kind of that darker comedy, but that's just like. I guess darker now it just means more realistic because that's the kind of comedy I like. I don't like the over the top. Yeah,
you know.
But I liked this comedy. I ended up laughing, quite a bit.
Yeah.
So that's a good thing.
Yeah, definitely. Always a good thing.
Always a good thing. I'm not the hardest one. I'm not the easiest one to please.
I know, but if a film, their genre is comedy,
exactly,
it did the job.
Yep.
So, alrighty, well, that is our review for Ludo. If you guys like what you're seeing here and you're watching on YouTube, please be sure to like this video, comment below, subscribe to the channel, and hit that bell notifications. We drop videos here every single day. You can find our social media pages, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. Have You Seen a Podcast? Audio format, Spotify, iTunes, SoundCloud, Google Play, and Stitcher. If you would like to listen to this podcast in audio format, you can subscribe there. We drop 3 episodes a week on our podcast channel. And if you guys want some church merch. God dang it! I said that. Shoot. Have you seen it? Merch. You can find that link in the description below. Thank you guys so much for watching and listening. My name is Mason Knight. That is Cash Kraus. And until next time.
Bye.